Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Intermittent fasting is everywhere. GLP-1 medications like Semaglutide and Tirzepatide are also everywhere. So the big question is, should you combine them? Is fasting on a GLP-1 a weight loss hack that accelerates fat loss or a fast track to muscle loss, fatigue, and stalled progress? Today we're breaking down the science behind combining GLP-1s and fasting, the real benefits, the hidden risks that no one talks about, and exactly how to do it safely, because this combo can be powerful, but only if you do it correctly. GLP-1 receptor agonists like semaglutide and tirzepatide work by reducing appetite, slowing gastric emptying, improving insulin sensitivity, regulating blood sugar, and reducing food noise. Intermittent fasting, on the other hand, focuses on when you eat, not what you eat. Popular methods for this include the 16-8 method, fast for 16 hours and eat during an 8-hour window, like for instance 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily. It is the most popular and beginner-friendly method. The 14-10 method is where you fast for 14 hours and you eat within a 10-hour window, which is a milder approach often recommended for beginners or women. The 5-2 diet is when you eat normally 5 days a week and restrict calorie intake to a very small amount, around 500 to 600 calories on 2 non-consecutive days. The OMAD, or 1 meal a day method, which is a stricter form of intermittent fasting involving a 23-hour fast followed by 1 large nutrient-dense meal, typically within a 1-hour window. And finally, there is alternate day fasting, ADF. Alternate between days of normal eating and days of fasting. Fasting days may involve consuming up to 500 calories or eating nothing at all every other day. When you fast, your body experiences lower insulin levels, increased human growth hormone or HGH, a shift toward fat burning, and changes in hunger hormones like ghrelin and leptin. So when you combine GLP-1s with fasting, you're stacking appetite suppression, improved glucose control, fat burning support, and reduced inflammation. And for many people, fasting becomes easier because GLP-1s blunt hunger signals. That's the appeal. Research suggests there may be a synergistic effect. Some data shows combining intermittent fasting with GLP-1 therapy may accelerate weight loss, improve insulin sensitivity, enhance metabolic flexibility, and lower HbA1c, which are hemoglobin A1Cs, more efficiently. There was even a 2025 medically supervised case study involving tirzepatide combined with a 26-day fast that resulted in dramatic weight loss in a patient with morbid obesity. And it was reported as safe and well tolerated under medical supervision. But here is the key phrase in all this: under medical supervision. This is definitely not a DIY territory, and just because weight drops faster doesn't mean it's all fat. That's where the risks come in. Let's talk about the hidden risks that nobody talks about. Number 1, muscle loss. GLP-1s already reduce calorie intake. Add fasting and calories can drop drastically. If protein intake isn't intentional and strength training isn't consistent, you risk losing muscle instead of fat. And muscle loss will slow your metabolism, it will increase risk of rebound weight gain, and it leads to plateaus. Most people should aim for 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of ideal body weight daily, and strength training 2 to 4 times per week minimum. No resistance training plus fasting plus GLP-1 equals muscle loss risk. Second on the list are nutrient deficiencies. When you eat fewer meals, nutrient intake often drops. Common deficiencies that are seen with aggressive fasting and appetite suppression are sodium, potassium, magnesium, iron, B12, vitamin D, omega-3s, and fiber. Symptoms can include fatigue, dizziness, brain fog, hair thinning, mood swings, and irregular cycles. Weight loss at the expense of health is not a win. There's also worsened side effects. GLP-1s already slow digestion, cause early fullness, and sometimes can cause nausea. If you fast too aggressively, side effects can intensify to nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and lightheadedness, especially if blood sugar drops too low. And there are special considerations that women need to keep in mind. Women may respond differently depending on menstrual cycle phase, thyroid function, stress levels, and HPA access health. Fasting is typically better tolerated during the follicular phase. During the luteal phase, progesterone rises, metabolism shifts, and the body may require more calories, not fewer. Women with hypothyroidism, hormone imbalances, high stress, or low estrogen may experience worsened fatigue or cycle disruption if fasting is too aggressive. This is not a one-size-fits-all. Here is how you can combine these safely. Before we dive into this, though, I want to be very clear. This is not medical advice that I'm coming at you with here. I am sharing educational information and my own experiences, but GLP-1 medications and fasting both affect your blood sugar, hydration, hormones, and metabolism. Combining them isn't something you should do without medical supervision, especially if you have diabetes, thyroid issues, kidney concerns, or a history of disordered eating. Please talk to your healthcare provider before making any changes such as this to your medication, nutrition, or fasting routine. Okay, if you and your provider decide that this is the approach that makes sense for you, here's how you start to combine them intelligently. Number 1, start moderate. Begin with 14-10 or 16-8 method. Do not jump into OMAD or 24-hour fasts immediately. Let your body adapt to this. Number 2, prioritize your protein. Every meal matters when you're eating less often. Break your fast with lean proteins, healthy fats, fiber-rich carbs, or vegetables. Don't break a fast with coffee and call it a day. And that is something I am often tempted to do, but don't do it. Don't be me. Number 3, lift weights. Resistance training preserves muscle and improves insulin sensitivity. 2 to 4 sessions per week minimum for that. Even short sessions count. Number 4, extremely important here, and a lot of people overlook it, is to hydrate and use electrolytes. Fasting plus GLP-1 equals higher dehydration risk. Add electrolytes, sea salt, and plenty of water, especially if you are fasted training. Fasted training involves exercising, typically cardiovascular activity, on an empty stomach, which is usually 8 to 12 hours after the last meal, commonly first thing in the morning. The primary goal here is to force the body to utilize stored fat for energy instead of readily available glycogen, aiming to enhance fat oxidation and improve metabolic efficiency. Number 5, also extremely important, monitor more than the scale. Track your measurements, progress photos, and body composition. The scale doesn't tell you what you're losing. Number 6, and this is the most important thing you can do, is to work with a provider. Before combining these strategies, a provider should evaluate fasting insulin and HOMA-IR, which is homeostasis model assessment for insulin resistance, a full thyroid panel, ferritin, which means your iron levels, B12, vitamin D, kidney function, and inflammation markers. These medications affect multiple systems. They require oversight. Avoid aggressive fasting if you have a history of disordered eating, have thyroid dysfunction, struggle with chronic stress, experience significant fatigue, have frequent hypoglycemia, or are undereating unintentionally. GLP-1s alone already create a calorie deficit. Fasting isn't required for success. So should you fast on GLP-1s? Here is the bottom line. Combining intermittent fasting with GLP-1 medications can enhance appetite control, improve insulin sensitivity, simplify eating, and potentially accelerate fat loss, but only if protein is prioritized, muscle is protected, nutrients are covered, hydration is maintained, and most importantly, medical supervision is involved. It is not a magic formula, it's a tool. And like any tool, it works best when you use it correctly. If you're on a GLP-1 and considering fasting, drop a comment below. Have you tried it? Did it help or did it hurt your progress? And if you want more evidence-based breakdowns on GLP-1 medications, metabolic health, and sustainable weight loss, make sure you subscribe because the goal isn't just weight loss, it is long-term health. Thanks so much for watching today, and I'll see you in the next video.